Welcome to Loleventvods. Watch the full game of today's LEC 2025 matchup.
The draft.
Yeah.
Draco's joined by Drax Spectra. Game 2. BDS took down G2 last week, so I'd call that a good week, but it wasn't perfect play from start to finish on the opposite side. Team Heretics. It's been a little bit iffy. Some good moments for sure. Some bad moments for sure.
Yeah. I feel like BDS has looked maybe worse than their scoreline would suggest, while Team Heretics have looked exactly like their scoreline would suggest.
Wow, that's creative. You're getting very. This is the creative flame I expect from a former pro player. Regardless, I think that the big question now for me coming into this game is Camilo. What is he going to play in the mid lane? Obviously, was just picking Victor every single game, every single opportunity. This time they've banned it away. On the opposite side for BDS, want to see what their team coordination looks like because the members were not always in sync. 113 was the one I think drew most eyes. There was a lot of debate amongst the casters about who was to blame in some of those circumstances. But
do you want to see hard steal on this Sejuani?
No, I don't. You know I don't. We'll talk about it if it happens.
Well, what I want to see from Heretics is like strong solo laners with a bot lane that can fight, and solo laners that can just kind of, you know, do their own thing. And they're giving it to me. Look. If they're looking Casante's here, I mean, those solo laners can just chill, and we kind of play towards Flecken and Stand, and then we unleash Stand on the map to help the solo laners back.
I like that angle. Casante, safe, stable, Varus, strong, early pushing.
Yeah.
Team Heretics, I mean, so far the formula is lining up with what you wanted.
Yeah, although I'm kind of surprised by the fact that we've now seen twice teams prioritizing Varus over Corki. I feel like Corki also has a very strong laning phase, but just kind of strictly scales better than the Varus. Because the Varus, like, as you saw in the last game, playing in a mobile ADC with not that much range, it's really hard. It's so easy to just get one shot.
I mean, I see the theoretical world where you eat tanks, I suppose, but the fact that Corki just has access to rockets, more effective range in so many situations.
And he also eats
AOE
tanks. He does true damage, and he has his E armor penetration. But it's going to be another Corki mid with the Astral this time. So it's weird. On first week, we had only Corki bot nearly.
Yeah.
And now, it's like we watched LPL and LCK, and it's like, this chance the mid laner.
Not just SK this week.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching it now.
I like the Astral, though. I like Ice on Astral. He's really good, and I feel like he can do a lot on it. It's a kind of nice scaling matchup into the Varus, and I'm kind of preferring BDS draft so far.
Well, and really, if you're BDS, I think your recipe for success, at least team agnostically, not looking at who you're facing, is like get Ice and Nuke on strong carries that can scale, that can impact the game, that can carry these team fights, and Corki and Ezreal
really good laning phase and really good range. So you can kind of play this non-committal style with Sejuani while also actually fighting in the early game and letting her invade. I'm liking what we got from BDS so far.
Team Heretics, though, not going to let any AP go over. Recognizing the same weakness. No Kai'Sa this time around, so again, the lack of magic damage is still an issue.
Yeah, it's more of an issue this game, I think. Especially, as you said, with no Kai'Sa and the fact that Heretics can easily lock in a third tank here, which just makes it too much.
You stopped talking there for a second because I just gave you like the weirdest look of all time. Yeah, you looked at me very confused. Just for context of people at home, it's because I looked at you like I was confused. And I'm confused because I'm wondering if tanks being good is fake news. Are we just going to see full AD comps versus tanks every single game today?
I mean, this is kind of the problem when like you have a champion like Corki. Like probably what happened in week 1 is the mid laners could play Corki, but the junglers didn't want to play AP. So then they were like, okay, we got to put a bot lane. But now the mid laners are like, no, we got to put a mid. But the junglers are still not playing AP champs. So you end up with these kind of semi-full AD drafts where people are just saying, okay, we don't care for that heavy AD. We're just going to pick strong champions. And we're going to hope we're going to end the game before they get like to hyperscale with their armor. But even then, it's kind of fake to be full AD because you do have so much like kind of random magic damage. And also it's kind of hard these days to itemize full armor in a lot of cases. Like if you go the Undying Despair,
you're
have to get some MR. And a lot of items are kind of like that these days.
Does make sense. Lock-in now is going to be the Zyra heading into the jungle in the hands of Sheo is the assumption here.
That makes me think that we're going to have like an AD mid answer. I mean, for sure we are. And I'm curious to think which AD mid do you want to play into Corki? You could go Yone. That's kind of a hard matchup. And it's also not a good Yone game. You're against like so much mobility, so many tanks.
Yeah, it's really
so much CC.
Also, Yone wants to dive.
You could go an
Varus
ADC.
and Zyra kind of want to be as far away from that dive as humanly possible.
If they wanted to cook, they could go like Varus mid and then go like some ADC bot. It's going to be the Renekton blind pick top. Pretty safe.
Varus mid not bad.
I mean, actually, it's not a blind pick. They have Cassandra. As Heretics
Okay.
Smolder
Mid?
in 2025, it's going to be mid for sure.
I got buffed a little bit.
Oh yeah,
scaling.
he can buy IE now.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a pretty big change.
Getting that additional crit amplification, for those who don't know, on Smolder on his own stats.
I'm still not sold on the champ though. The champ had the worst win rate in bot lane all of last patch, and has had for quite some time. But it is better and competitive. The
I mean, it's
are
only
slower.
been a few days, but we'll check the wonderful internet to check how Smolder mid lane has been doing. Maybe there's a surge in performance. It is a decent buff, but
It always had super bad win rate in mid, so I'd be surprised if you see like it's been like 40%. But mid laners also can't play it mostly.
we'll find out together. An entire stream where you watch me Google things. It's like I'm a co-streamer.
And you do it like a boomer way, so super slow.
What do you want me to Google? Anyway, let's talk about the game. What are we looking for here early game? We have a Zyra, which I assume is just going to psycho clear. AP champions have always just crushed tank junglers in early game. But at the same time, I don't really know what the vision is. Smolder makes things make more sense for the side of Team Heretics, I will say that. Getting now into our second game of the day. Again, a 2-1 versus 1-2 situation, as we'll see many times this week. BDS, first Team Heretics.
I mean, so when you play these like tank junglers into AP junglers, you kind of had two options. You could either just choose to match the full clear, in which case Zyra will probably look to late, like go on your Raptor or go on your Krugs after you're done full clearing to bot. Or you could look to late invade. And especially then if you combine that with the swap, now you have Ezreal, Sejuani, Renekton, Alistar late invading the Zyra. But Heretics are expecting it. They're 5-man stacking. This could be a 5v5 fist fight. Oh, is 113 gonna fist check? No.
Smolder will get some stacks, so flash burn. Good reaction speed though, coming from 113 to make sure he doesn't get caught there. Probably dies if he does get hit by that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good flash.
Now walking in, ice a bit of poke. Everybody's squaring up for the level 1 5v5. Camilo didn't get any stacks.
Now will BDS stick around? Okay, they're going to just leave.
Thank you for making it so dramatic.
Well,
What else were they gonna do?
stick around
Well, yeah, but what was gonna happen?
to try to put the Zyra behind, but they're going for a normal swap, which is kind of strange because you have an Ezreal level 1, and you also have Renekton, who usually doesn't want to really swap.
I guess.
But I think it's partially just to throw off the jungle tempo so that Zyra can't look to really invade. That's my at least thought process.
A decent thought process.
And
You
also
get away
because
from
you have Alistar
Yeah,
level 1.
Alistar level 1, obviously terrible. Level 3.
But it's not that bad, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of bad. But
It's balanced out by Ezreal level 1 to a certain degree, but
yeah, it's not like you need to swap level up bad, at least.
I mean, how are you hitting them on the outside of the way if they get first push? Anyway,
I mean, they're getting first push, but you can just farm with Ezreal Qs, you know what I mean?
well, the question now for me is how does Carlson weather this storm? You can see Sejuani on the bottom chart of the map, and good use of Stend of their bot lane prio to just keep an eye on where 113 is. Obviously the guy who's going to make a lot of these early game plays. And Carlson, I think, having this reliable tank, I like this look more than I like the Jax, as much as he did get camped in the Jax game he played. I think something a little bit safer, something a little bit more reliable helps when you're the rookie on stage.
I thought we'd see Irrelevant on Jax, to be honest, because he's kind of like the best Jax in EU, I'd say. He's kind of known for it. But he ends up going for the Renekton instead. And then it's kind of weird, like you pick the Jax, or you pick the Renekton, thinking you're gonna swap. It's like, why wouldn't you just pick the Jax at that point? You're kind of happier and you scale better, in my opinion. But you know,
more magic
Renekton's really nice with Sejuani as well, as you get that really fast E-stun. So, and also more magic damage, that's true.
If with the Jax, but instead of the Renekton.
Yeah.
So we really are full physical damage here.
Yeah. And Smolder is having a rough time. This is kind of how I expected it to go.
The good news, there's no third tank on the side of Team Heretics.
That is true.
The Zyra in the jungle does mean that they can kill at least 3/5 of the roster.
Yeah. So overall, they're not that tanky. Like, if you kill the Smolder Zyra Varus, who cares, you know? Just kill their backline.
It's always that simple.
Yeah.
So Irrelevant surviving well, getting as much XP as he can. The dive angle here is interesting. You can just jail this man under his tower so he can't play the game, but Camilo is just getting bullied here.
Tough part about playing Smolder in these sort of matchups is you really want to be the one just free stacking. Because even though he might not fall that far behind in CS, what you want as Smolder is not just CS, you want stacks. And that's why they picked Smolder a lot into stuff like Yone and stuff like Sylas, because you can just stack against these melee champions. Well, now we can't even farm. This is tough. I
can do.
I'm not a fan of the Smolder, I think. If I'm like Heretics right now...
Well, I like the response play here from BDS. They basically see that Renekton doesn't get to play the game. Zyra's sitting there. He's not going to be able to get any CS.
It's
so
a really nice...
mid.
I mean, also Nuke is playing this wave, or is playing this lane really well. Like, it's really nice to see that when you have a hard matchup, that matchup actually gets punished. It's so annoying when you have a hard matchup and you just see them like farm for free. So that's really nice. Oh, maybe Paris was coming in.
Level 2. He's doing fine. Good extra healing. They'll take away the bone plating, but he takes over to level 3 now. There's not a lot that they can do.
But the problem that I have, if I'm Heretics, like, and I ask myself, well, when does this Smolder actually start to outvalue the Corki? And my answer would be, I don't know, at 225 stacks maybe? But up until that point, I think he's just going to keep getting pushed in, keep losing trades, and the Syra could try to bail him out, but the problem then is if Sejuani counter yanks, then you probably hard lose the 2-2.
It's also just, I mean, it's awkward again because Nuke and Ice don't completely outrange against on-hit bars. I guess they do. Smolder does have decent range, but
yeah, they outrange pretty hard.
They outrange pretty hard.
Yeah.
I mean, the dream scenario, if you're going to play this scaling option, is you kind of want people to fight into you, but BDS, while they do have good tools to force a fight and engage, and hard engage, right, with their top side, with the Alistair, they can just stay at arm's reach and just poke for free.
Yeah, I think if I'm Heretics, what I'd really want is... Oh, they can't do much here, I think. Just get a little chunk on them.
And
it's a pretty good chunk, though.
Definitely a good chunk. I still don't see the dive angle, though. Of course, they're not 100% sure where Sheo is, but he is just now getting back out on the map.
Oh?
A little locked up.
Maybe he can turn onto Paris here.
Ignite ticking stun as well. Camilla's going to fall. First blood.
Oh, he just dies.
For the side of BDS. And credit to Nuke pushing this matchup.
Yeah, Nuke is looking good.
I mean, this is the thing you have to do when someone plays this, you know, weak early game scaling champ. It's why we called out the Kai'Sa, right, in the potential risk. But this is a game where there's weak early game champs and there's Smolder, right? This is, you kind of have to kill him or you're, I guess you're losing the matchup.
I was so happy when I saw like the Cassandra Azir. I was thinking that's the perfect direction for this team. But then you go to Smolder and just, I mean, you can tell how hard it is, you know? Every trade looks losing, every 2v2 looks losing. Want to really hope, like, it's really good that they're getting the Drake here at least, because then they slow down the Drake stacking. But the problem with this new patch is that now you have the Atakan, which is an objective that you will have to fight over. And my question is, will Smolder be ready by then?
I'm not sure. When we all last year watched the Lol Dobby video on Chovy's Smolder mid, I don't think Corki mid was viable, which I think made this champ definitely more playable early game.
For sure.
Oh, that objective
flash.
taken, quick flash out. Okay.
I mean, he had a vision.
We're either clipping it or we're all forgetting it happened. You can pick what side of the coin you're on, but
it was a good play if it landed, so I don't mind it.
This is the worst part about talking to you and talking to Finn, is you're always like, it would have been good if, and then 30 things.
Well, the thing is, like, for me, what makes a bad play is if the thought process is really bad. Like, if you have an erroneous thought process, then I can actually criticize it really hard. Like, you just did something stupid. But if you tried to do the good play, we just failed, happens, you know? We're only human.
That's true. Shout out to you, Paris. We're only human. Yeah. Everybody makes an oopsies. And our supports especially, and to be fair, you kept your life, which we cannot say for many of the supports that make mistakes in this league. Irrelevant though, sitting pretty comfortably, although Carlson much more committed to the full armor routine, at least early on.
He's stacking that armor. Good Q from Meister.
6.
You can also see Flackit rush the latest tier caps. A lot of armor enjoyers.
Definitely a lot of armor enjoyers. There is definitely I'd say definitely another 30 or so times, just to really let that word sink into my vocabulary.
Repetition is
There's
key.
a point where no matter how much AD is on the enemy team, I don't think it's necessarily right to go play the seal caps right off the bat. Because I don't really know how you
I mean, it feels kind of bad, yeah, as Varus right now. He has bought only Doran's play as attack damage. He's not doing a whole lot of damage.
I mean, you got
but one of the nice things about this champ is, like, you have pretty high base damage, which is why you could play that, like, tank Varus top abomination that was played. If you remember that one, I don't know.
Whoa. Mirwin played that. Can't say that.
Well, it was...
I love Mirwin. All right, all in here coming in from Carlson. Irrelevant now going to snap, pull out his ultimate. Full armor might be enough here for Carlson. He's going to be able to find the kill. Q3. Relevant waiting for his cooldowns to come back up and the rage to come back up. He might be able to recommit, but for now it's just a trade of ultis. Not a bad look from Carlson, but not able to turn it into more.
No flash on
locked
Paris.
up, good interrupt on the Q, but Sheo is there to finish the job. Stend in the end going to grab the kill. Now
Good play to dive
trouble.
ice here. Don't just the Q. Probably gonna have to flash the knock up. Yeah.
Flash. Hey, credit to Sheo.
Really good.
Walks into bot lane, gets the flash off Ezreal, helps get the kill as well.
113 has no ulti. I think, oh, he used it mid to burn Camilla flash. Missed it off screen.
And the thing I will say that I like about this is obviously you're forced into an AP jungler when you decide you want that AD mid. But Sheo is getting a lot of value out of this. He doesn't have a massive camp lead, but was able to go bot, get a couple summoners. If he can keep that ball rolling, it is a decent angle for Team Heretics to get more done on the map. Maybe draw some pressure away from Camilo.
Yeah, it's funny because I said that like BDS are playing full AD because they want to play Corki mid and their jungler didn't want to play AP. Well, it seems like Heretics, Sheo was like, I'm playing AP, you figure it out on mid lane, just pick some AD, no? And he's like, Smolder, I guess.
I mean,
he got buffed, didn't he?
I'm gonna assume, sir, that they scrimmed and practiced and prepared.
Okay, but he's not even buying crit. And it was crit that got buffed on Smolder. He's going the mana immune build, I think.
You need mana. You spam a lot of abilities.
That's true, yeah.
Double scaling. Cole tier.
No boots.
I will say it is an important skill in League of Legends to know when you're the passenger on the bus.
Yeah.
Camilo is
most people don't have that skill.
Yeah, most people don't have that skill and they try to fight when they are not the main character. Camilo, he might get a chance to be the main character. He's not getting that chance now, though.
Yeah.
He needs to chill, needs to farm, needs time.
It's a bit of a desperate face check from him, and it's going to chunk him out. Oh, gets the ult damage on ice, though. That's nice. Some return damage.
Getting stacks.
So Smolder used to be all about using the ult for wave clear, but they nerfed that really hard because it was so OP and competitive. Now it's more about the damage on jumps. But we got a grab start here.
1-3 has ulti. Relevant can flank, but it is just a 3v3. Unless Team Heretics...
They're just going to watch it die and...
Well, this is awkward. I mean, they lost mid prio, right?
Yeah.
Ice is just able to push in mid, so they have the man advantage. I mean, basic rules of League of Legends, if someone has one more person than you, chances are you're losing that fight.
Yeah, but it feels so bad to drop 6 scrubs. Like, you also have double losing sides here. Like, Renekton usually gets pushed against something kind of hit tower, and then Corki is going to get pushed against whoever he goes up against. So it's going to be really important for Heretics to try to defend these towers.
It's not without Ivarus, so Ezreal's probably getting pushed too.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on, survive. Name of the game for Team Heretics. You got a Landry's coming in for Shale, might help in the next objective. Dragon is just about to spawn Mountain Drake, second of the game.
Nice by Nuke here. You can see he's just like slow pushing, trying to deny as many minions as possible. A lot of people, after they stop kind of being in the laning phase, they just kind of autopilot brain AFK push. But if you just slow push like this and deny minions, you get such a big lead.
Definitely do. Luckily for Camilo, stands in the area, so Nuke can't play too far forward and stop him from just Q farming on the wave.
You can see both supports kind of recognizing that like the mid laners are the most important right now. Because if Nuke can just be 1v1, Camilo can't play.
102 stacks, getting close to the 125 threshold for Camilo at the very least. I mean, not stacking at a bad rate for how difficult the lane phase was. 34 stacks left on Cole as well. I'm going to talk about stacks a lot. It's triple stacking here. There's a tier, there's a Cole.
Stack maxing.
He's absolutely stack maxing. But this is tricky. Again, Flakked fighting for wave control here, but once he gets to level 9, max rank Q, it's not...
You see that Sejuani inventory? Beautiful, baby.
Why do you do this to me? Okay, all I'm going to say is, even if it works this game, I don't think Heartsteel is good on tank junglers in competitive.
Well, it's going to be a Drake fight here.
Set up there for Team Heretics. They kind of want to bait the engage. Again, if Shio gets a good ultimate, they can try and turn this. Good ultimate coming in from Flakked. Nice route, but it's just going to be the 50-50, and 113 manages to steal it. Carlson coming in, but a nice knockup coming from Paris. And now Irrelevant straight into the backline. Flacked's got nowhere to go. Pops the blast cone. Himself out to safety, but now Sheo in trouble. As powerful as that jungler is, it's still damn squishy. BDS.
They get everything.
They get the smite steal, they get kills.
It looked so good from Heretics at the beginning. And they just weren't able to convert it. And a really, really good flank from Irrelevant. Now they're going to be able to hit this bot tower with 6 scrubs, and there's only 30 seconds left of the plates. I think they can get the whole tower. This is the power of 6 scrubs.
First tower as well, they're going to hit the threshold for, they won't get to 3 kills first, but they will be able to get the feats of strength when they grab the tower here.
Yeah, they got 3 objectives and the first tower. Wow. You can see 15 seconds it took for them to take that tower from 5 plays. That's the power of 6 scrubs. You see, for me, when I saw this, and I see 113 getting this chunked from the Varus ult and all of the damage, I thought it looked good. But they used everything on 113, and nobody was marking this Renekton flank. So Irrelevant just gets to wreak havoc on the backline.
Well,
and then they're split up and just get ran down.
and you're in a situation where you're kind of hoping that BDS make a mistake and overcommit into you so you can get value out of the Zyra ult. But you saw there, they've got Ice on one side, knowing that Ice is untouchable. They've got Nuke on the other side, knowing that Nuke is untouchable, and they have to commit resources. They play at range, they
They're
poke.
poking you down, yeah.
And the thing is I just don't feel like Team Heretics have agency in this game, at least in terms of, unless they're first on the objective, then maybe they can force something. But at this point, with how quickly they're falling behind, it's pretty impossible for them to be first on those objectives.
Yeah. Camilo is actually going to crit Smolder, which was what got buffed. But I'm presuming he just went to tier for early game. And I hope he's not actually going to go man immune now. I hope he's just going to sit on the tier and then go this Infinity Edge into rapid fire. He also needs some boost of speed. He's low.
Yeah, he is
Slow dragon.
no boots versus triumphant boots.
Yeah.
Also triumphant Swifties,
Triumphant Swifties,
which will
yeah.
eventually be Swift March.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baby Dragon versus Yordle in a helicopter does not look to be a balanced matchup.
And this is like a classic 6 scrub play where you just have your top move to mid and then you move 4-man to the side and you just completely destroy the tower instantly. You can see how fast it goes.
And the struggle, again, for Team Heretics, if they take away, if they stop them from crossing the 4-grub threshold or the 6-grub threshold, it gets so much easier to defend against these pushes. But you're
They can
behind
keep
in
going.
gold, you're weaker as champions.
Stenda's flash.
The Relevant's also
Irrelevant's
pushing at the
hitting
same
mid.
time. They are going to trade back
Oh,
a tower
wow.
at the very least, right? So that is something.
The getting mid tower here is huge for BDS. It's very rare that you ever get mid tower here because normally enemy ADC is just matching the top laner in mid and just defending. But Flakkid actually decided to go top, which meant that with the 6 grubs, with the demolish, Irrelevant could just destroy the tower. Feels really bad for Team Heretics. They're trying to get now a cross map onto getting their own tier 1 top, but BDS reset in time. They have good tempo. They can loot to defend. Oh, but they might have a pick here.
Nuke spots him, though.
Luke is playing well this game.
1-3 just goes in, forces the fight immediately. Shea's got no defensive tools left. He's just going to get one pop. BDS
Engage.
are just obliterating Team
Wow.
Heretics. The gold's only 1.8k difference, but the compositions just make this feel so impossible to play.
And they're playing so much better on the map. They're just moving around as a unit much better, and they're using the fact that they have 6 grubs so well. They broke the bot tower with it, broke the top tower, and the mid tower now. They're showing why so many teams are so desperate to contest the grubs and not give 6.
And I'm really curious, maybe we'll get the chance to talk to Team Heretics, maybe not, like what the vision is here in terms of what they wanted out of this composition. If there's some strength of Smolder we don't know about, that they were able to leverage in scrims, that they can leverage on stage. If it's as pessimistic as you were, where it's like, hey, we just desperately need AP in the jungle. And we
I mean, that was kind of a joke.
I know it was a joke, but like we don't know, right? We weren't
it could be.
there.
But,
that context, I think, is important to understand because this is we're witnessing firsthand the weaknesses of this composition, which is that when you fall behind like this, you know, the game is really, really hard to play.
Yeah.
While, again, Camilo is stacking pretty well, even when he crosses that threshold, I don't know if it's going to be enough. It is not the crit Smolder, to your earlier point.
It is
IE
mana
interaction was allowed. This wasn't buffed, but now it actually does work with Smolder the way you would assume it would. And so Mana Immune next.
yeah, I don't know why Essence sure mana immune. I mean, it's a bit strange. Maybe he's got the vision. When he gets 225 stacks, he's gonna be doing crazy stuff, I hope. But it's also one thing that might look decent, that actually feels really bad, is the jungle discrepancy. When you play these AP junglers into stuff like Sejuani or Maokai, you really want to build up a lead. That's why you pick a champion like Zyra that's just kind of weaker at fighting than Sejuani. So the fact that they're equal feels really, really bad for Team Heretics.
Definitely does. Sheo wanted to be able to do more damage here, but again,
And he played well, but just the fights didn't go in their favor, and then you die once or twice like he did, you fall behind in tempo, and your champion is... The strengths of it are really neutered.
yeah, and it's doubly true, it's true in isolation for the Zyra against any team, and it's doubly true against the Ezreal Corkis of the world. Like, if you don't hit them with a root, which really should be impossible to do unless they're hit with another piece of CC first, you're not hitting anything else.
Yeah, if you were playing against some short range and mobile carries here, as a Zyra, you have a real win con of poking them out, landing an E, but I'd be really surprised if we're going to see Ice or Nuke get hit by many Zyra E's this game.
No. Really have to be caught sleeping or find that pick in a brush, which isn't off the table.
Yeah.
But we're approaching Atacon rapidly now. It is, unsurprisingly, Voracious Atacon. Reminder, the change this patch, 200 gold instead of 100 gold. So if you do proc that false life, that little GA buff. If you do send them packing back to Fountain, you get 200 gold instead of 100 gold. So it feels a little bit better if you're playing against it. Otherwise, the buff remains the same. But I don't think 200 gold is not what saves Team Heretics here, even if they get all 5, even if they get the 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, if they get 1,000 gold, they're pretty happy, I think. But I think the problem is that you need to then kill 5 people, which, you know, they've only killed 1 so far in nearly 20 minutes.
BDS have only killed 3.
Yeah, that's true. But they've taken like 3 towers.
And it's all Nuke.
2 Drakes.
You hyped up Nuke earlier, and I'm just going to say it again. I think
He's playing well.
It is. It's easy to look at a matchup that you're expected to win when you do well. Milu.
He's going to have to use Flash here. Maybe he's still dead.
Flash out. Going to try to flap. Nice sidestep, but he's just gone.
Really good TP by Nuke here. And we're highlighting how well he's playing. And he's not just playing well mechanically, but he's also playing the map really intelligently.
And I think the big thing here is when you get a lead like this, like you have to be able to push. You have to be able to bring that game home. Or especially in like Smolder's the most extreme example of this. If you just give Smolder time, your lead is going to become less and less significant. But Nuke, in an isolated 1v1, then yes, he's expected to win. He dominated, able to get kills with the help of the rest of his team, and now is just continuing to leverage his lead to take down, I mean, in this case, Camilo, but I think all of Team Heretics.
Team Heretics does get a really good chunk here on Paris, but if they might not result into anything, I was thinking maybe they could try to leverage this for auto composition, but Relevant's just having free time on top here because Carlson must or has to stay mid due to the fact that Smolder died. And that's another tier 2 going in the side of BDS. And the 6 grubs are just, they're devastating. You just need a few seconds with the tower and it's gone.
And now you've got Swift March as well for Nuke. Which, I mean, in general, I think it seems to be the favorite boot upgrade of just about everyone I speak to. But
it feels the best, yeah.
Yeah, you are really fast. And there is...
I'm pretty fast, yeah.
All right, man. Wait, I don't know why that's where you took it, but respect. Good to know. Good for you, buddy. Yeah, you're still a pro. Don't worry. You're really fast. Anyway, Team Heretics are gonna have to find a way out of this deficit fast. That much
might
we know.
be caught here.
Sitting okay.
Pull the trigger. They might just run to mid here with 6 grubs. They can take this tower really damn fast.
Bomb called in, does not clear the wave as you highlighted. That's just been nerfed repeatedly to stop Smolder from being good in pro.
I think the tower's just gone.
213 the stacks. Good angle. Flacken now going in. Can they find a pick onto a Relevant? Maybe this will be enough. Relevant able to flash out. Blinking health bar. Team Heretics desperate. Q3 back from Carlson. This is a good fight for Team Heretics.
Yeah.
They're playing it slow. Ice is going to continue to poke though, so they have to speed it up just a little bit. They're going to be able to find the pick at the very least on the Ouster. Parasalting a little bit late, but Team Heretics finding that pick. They can't afford to get poked out though. This is the awkward thing. Camilo running top lane to try to get 225.
Even with this pick, it's really hard for them to face check into the bushes of BDS. Because Astral and Corki is just doing too much damage. It's really like a hero play from Flakkit. I love the fact that he's just flashing forward. He's saying, I'll put matters into my own hands. I'll make this fight happen. And it ends up being a really good fight. They get the pick onto Alistar. But the problem is that when you get a pick like that, you really want to convert it into Autocon. That's why you're willing to use the Varus Flash. But they just get poked too hard. And now they're in the same position. Renekton's going to push out top, have first move. Someone's going to be forced to answer that top wave. And unless Team Heretics gets a pick right now, they're going to be kind of in a tough position where BDS gets full control.
Smolder, 2 items, about to cross 225 stacks. Whatever Team Heretics picked this for, this is the moment where you have to start outvaluing the Corki. And I think it's a tall task given the massive lead individually that Nuke has, but this is where we really need to see this pick do something. But for right now, I mean, I was just forced to walk away. It's weird because every time I've watched Smolder in competitive and Smolder's crossed this threshold, the game is immediately felt unplayable. But they're at such a deficit, and I think their comp just does not favor them against BDS to the point where it hasn't felt impactful yet. Now we haven't seen him do anything, but I personally I'm not worried for BDS. Might change if 113 overextends here. Arctic Assault out.
113.
Ulti goes a little bit wide. Flash indeed is Irrelevant getting chipped away. You can see that little white line of Irrelevant health bar, the execution threshold. Nuke caught a little bit here.
Then has no flash.
See, Carlson missed the team. Good ulti follow-up.
Oh, this is a good fight for Heretics.
Paris about to get taken away. Excellent ulti coming in to buy a bit more space from Sheo. Team Heretics stepping up. Camilo now grabbing that kill.
They run for the Drake? They don't go Atakan. They might try to go for both.
2-3.
113
Inflow
could
back.
go for the steal. Yes, flash, but it's too risky, I think.
Better to go for the Otacon steal, maybe.
Yeah.
Miller goes right back to mid.
Wow, they're not going to start the Otacon. I really thought with this pick, it looked so good from Heretics. I loved how slow they played the fight. But after they killed the support, I feel like maybe in my head, I think Heretics is further behind, so they should be more willing to take a risk. But Heretics just say, okay, we'll take the Drake, we'll play it slow. And to be fair, they got scaling on the Smolder, they can do it.
I mean, when that rapid fire comes out,
Yeah.
again, it's not the perfect situation. The Corki ulti, the Ezreal Q is still going to be a problem, but Willow's getting stronger. Still going to stack up too on the Smolder stacks, right? It's not just the threshold that matters.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest counterplay to Smolder is range, which BDS does have a lot of. But I do think, as you said, once Smolder gets this rapid fire cannon, it'll be kind of a night and day difference with how aggressive he can play, how much damage he can put out, and overall how useful he is.
And now we're in an interesting situation where BDS, of course, they have the advantage. They're likely still to get first push on side. You can see Irrelevant in the bottom of your screen on the minimap already pushing in that tier 2. BDS have their choice of what objective they want to play for. They're set up around Baron. Sheo is walking bot lane.
It's kind of strange though that neither team is really playing anymore for the Otacon. Now they're just looking to set up vision around the Nash. The Otacon's pretty OP, guys. I think we kind of want to.
I guess they don't want to risk giving up Nash against a team that is comfortable to sit and scale.
Or it's just the fear of like starting the Otacon and then you get...
One shot by a Smolder Mom.
Yeah.
Slash, I mean, Zyra is actually also very scary. Yeah, grouping in a pit against Otacon against Zyra does
And Rel as well, yeah.
Yeah, it seems really
They do have
dangerous.
good tools for sure, but what I would hope to see from BDS is that they just kind of take full control of both side river and they just kind of block off every single bush and don't let Team Heretics enter at all. I think if they do that, then they can get like one single poke with Corki and Ezreal. Team Heretics gets strong, they got a base, you got a free Otacon.
Good angle. Leverage that range, not necessarily for the fight, but just to give yourself a big enough advantage to dissuade Team Heretics. Being too aggressive. But Irrelevant just continues to be the thorn in their side. It's not the Jack, certainly, but even at this point in the game, Renekton's still a nuisance. Celestial opposition poked away from Stend. Team Heretics taking control of mid, using man advantage here as
So
top
again
wave is
here,
pushing against them, though.
you'd think when they get this mid proud, they'd move into the Otacon, but they're moving into top side.
There.
Nook is good flank
Good
here.
poke. Good buffer from Sten to make it out to safety. They get the ulti from 113. Ooh, the Ezreal ult hitting too, though, is frustrating. Camilo, of course, no real way to regain that health. Is going to be forced to recall.
Oh? 113 Nuke might be in
Going
trouble
in,
here.
locking up. Zyra ult his own nuke away, trying to get a little bit more CC down. 113 rooted. Flacket pushed away. Mom called in. 113 in trouble. Flacket finding the shutdown. Now it's Paris in trouble as well. It's going to be 2 members picked off. Ice has to try and make the difference. Relevant going for the 1v1 in the picture-in-picture. And that's 2 picks inside of Team Heretics.
BDS are so split up, Dracos. Like, Ice is going for the mid wave, and now it's Nash start for Heretics here.
I like the confidence to pull the trigger. They are still getting poked. It is a problem. Irrelevant will be an issue for them.
I
But
think
the
this is
Baron is also
scary.
chunking them, and Sheo's trapped in
No.
the pit. The flash available for Zyra. He might just have to flash out. Irrelevant can
Oh,
just go to the
no.
wall. It's going to be big. There are lamps to the slaughter. Can they find the turn flanking? Oh, it's shooting fish in a barrel. But it's not fish. It's Team Heretics. The ulti completely whiffs. Carlson now just having the
Carlson.
time of his life trying to turn this back. Ice gets the 1v1.
Ice?
This is big, though. I think Carlson really just saved the team here. That could have been infinitely worse. Ice knows he has to poke the plants, but he has the range advantage. As long as he doesn't get caught by anything, he can just keep walking up, keep poking.
Wow. I mean, it's so hard to start that Nasher there because they have so good poke with the Corki and Ezreal. It ends up being kind of an equal trade for Heretics. It looked like,
I mean, they only have a 1.6k gold lead.
yeah, the gold lead is kind of shrinking. I mean, it starts off with here, 113 is way too deep. You see Ezreal on the mid wave. And then Paris kind of tries to save him by CCing the Varus. Really good flash by Flacket. He knows, he sees that the Ezreal's on mid. I can flash forward, I can go. Paris knows he's dead, doesn't want to waste his flash. And then it's like, okay, we should be able to start the Nash. We killed their support jungle.
No.
But this Ezreal and Corki, oof.
I mean, you can't get on them. You have to have something.
But a hero play from Carlson. I thought Renekton would kill all of Heretics, and Carlson wouldn't be able to do anything to the Ezreal and Corki. But it ended up being Renekton here just dies without killing any of them. And Cassante is the one who can actually pick off the Corki.
I mean, in the terms of a backline dive contest, I would take Cassante every time, personally, but I can see why Irrelevant would be confident enough to make that play, and it does certainly help the team. Carlson, heroic effort. Also, shout out to Sheo in that fight, hides the E animation in the terrain. Part of the reason we didn't see that quick Q reaction coming in from 113. And now,
That's an equal game. It's a Drake fight here.
I don't know how
Heretics
this
has
happened.
position.
I mean, credit Team Heretics. They weathered the storm. They punished BDS.
Heretics are very split up here, but Nuke's already on top. He needs the TP in. But TP is 7 seconds.
Yeah, they just get this. I mean, 113 can go for the 50-50. Q flash in, trying to get a bit more. Chain CC is there. If they take the
113
jungle
no
out, they
flash.
go for another objective. Nuke is topside right now. He has TP, but they just turned down a
Atakan.
Voracious Otacon.
Atakan.
Camilo, recalling. Can't TP in. Relevant tries or
Can look
spots
to
it
catch the top
briefly.
wave. Okay, instantly TPs. You're gonna have to try to contest this objective
40.
45.
I mean, again, the resistance shred here is real. If
Corki
Ice
is
can
really
land
far.
any poke, Irrelevant, all on his lonesome. Team Heretics instantly turning to Irrelevant, trying to collapse on the flanker. No one can really pin down Ice, though, and Nuke waiting over the wall.
Oh, great E by Shio there to lock Nuke up.
Relevant fighting off to the side. Camilo untouched, trying to get a bit more damage down. The objective, all that matters, however,
Have Smite.
trying to get something,
They
but the
get
Smite is
Atakan.
there to secure the objective, and now there's no fight here for BDS. They've completely overcommitted. Team Heretics.
They're making the comeback happen, Dracos. They can use this Atakan, push out mid-top, start the Nash, and get a great fight going once again. And wow, this is just 1-1-3, and Paris getting caught off guard repeatedly.
And really, again, credit Team Heretics for surviving as long as they did. The early game was not pretty.
I thought it was kind of lost, to be honest.
It was very lost. So no matter what happens in this mid to late game, Team Heretics managed to MacGyver their way back into this game to find that angle.
And now I think I'd rather have the Smoler than the Corki, to be honest.
Well,
I mean, he's still down
the
2
other
levels,
big thing
but
is the Cassante and the Renekton,
yeah,
right?
I'd much rather have the Cassandra. I have him
At
all the
this
time,
point.
to be honest. So.
It's fair. Yeah, the draft decision I expect to walk away most critical of would be mid-jungle on the side of Team Heretics, and now it might be top lane for BDS, given the Jax was available, but at the end of the day, Team Heretics still have to close this out, and it's still compositionally not easy. They have, in theory, outscaled, they have the better buffs, but they still have to find the fight, they still have to force the end, and BDS, I think that last couple exchanges have been a wake-up call. They need to get it together.
And now Camilo is getting this top tier 1 for free. He doesn't have TP, so BDS could look to force something here, 5v4, but the Atakan buff is still really scary. That's why Team Heretics feels that they can actually still walk up and pressure, even though they're number disadvantage.
Poke might not matter. Another good ulti from Flack and Paras once again caught out by that Varus
Oh,
ultimate.
split fight.
Sheo trying to zone with the ulti. Irrelevant off to the side, hoping to find the flank. Sten getting lower and lower.
Ice.
Might just get sent packing back to base. Flack fighting on the edge there. But Irrelevant just cannot do
Ice.
anything. Another Q from Ice. Would have
A
been
lot
the
of
death
really good
sentence for
cues from
Flack.
Ice.
Team Heretics, I mean, I think they're just going to bully their way into mid and at least take the tier 1 tower.
Oh,
Good
Paras.
Paras
Paris.
goes back in. Lock it. A bit questionable there. Caught out again. 0-6-3. Paras. Start of week 2 not looking good. The Seraphine came against G2. Some heroic ultimates.
It's a rough
They,
game for him so far, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle.
For me, best player on Team Heretics, Fleckit. So I want to highlight Fleckit.
I
I feel
mean,
like
the
he's been
ults have
positioning
been-
really well. He's kind of like a lot of time when you play ADC and your team is not engaging for you, you can't do much. But he's willing to pull the trigger. He's willing to click up even when he's outranged. Oh, and now we got a
There's
pick.
that credit. 1-1-3. Finds the initial ulti. Some good poke follow-up, though. 1-1-3 in the pit as well. A bit more damage down coming in courtesy of the Heart Seal. Irrelevant in the midst of everyone, but they don't have the damage to finish the job. Mom not going to connect. Ice and Nuke still standing. Sheo and Camilo getting zoned out. Ice, if he lands, another Q. Nuke going in. Another auto. The shield coming in from Cassante. And this is where they have to be careful on the retreat. It's just the poke battle.
This game's on a knife edge. I mean, all they needed was a tiny bit more poke, and Camilo or Flackett would have died. Now it's BDS who could look to start up this Nash here. Flackett can lifesteal up, but Camilo has the base. He does have the TP, I think, in like 5 seconds.
Sheo. Ulti about to come up, and that's the big concern. BDS not overcommitting to the pit. Luxury of being on blue side. They can kind of just back away to their own territory here. They do not dodge the Baron mechanic, though, which is going to cost them a little bit. But Flackett, again, just ulting to kick the fight off. He's not scared at all. Sheo there to follow up, and once again, Paris is just going to get taken out.
It's a 1-for-1 support trade here, and it's not looking like it's going to be much more. Very close game. I would have liked to see Heretics use the Atakan more to try to get Nash rather than towers, but now that they've broken up mid, it should be easier for them to contest this next Drake coming up in 50 seconds. And it is actually, wait, Soul for Heretics if they get this Drake. How did they get 3 Drakes? I mean, technically, they already got 4. They got smaller.
You're not, like, you're like in your early 20s. Give yourself 10 years before you make jokes like that. Like, I'm supposed to say the cringy dad humor.
I mean, it's a good one.
All right, man.
Because it catches the other person off guard.
It does. I mean, I'm thoroughly caught off guard. I think similar to BDS when they saw the Smolder mid locked in, although they're giving it a little bit more respect now.
Oh,
1-1-3, good angle
really
on the
deep.
Flacket. Ezreal ulti as well, going with the wall. Ice, but not able to find too much on terms of targets. And Camilo able to find the kill back. Stend not getting a good engage, but burning so many cooldowns.
It's a great E by Ice, but so deep by 1-1-3. It's a bit desperate. And now they have no jungler for the Drake here. It's the soul for Team Heretics. They might just have to give it. Corki's basing.
Cloud is big. That extra movement speed matters a lot when it comes to dodging these skill shots or getting in on these priority targets.
It is by far the best Drake when you're outranged like this, because now the Varus and the Smolder can actually start posturing up so much more aggressively. Look how fast this Smolder is. Look at him. He's a fast Drake.
So quick. He didn't get Swifties this game. There's no Swift March. It makes it sad.
Well, he doesn't have upgraded boots anyways.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Would have been good if had the fastest dragon.
that's true.
Nuke now retreating.
He might be caught here. Might have to burn Flash. Like that Flash ulti.
They can just go Baron. I mean, getting new Flash is big for the next fight.
Yeah. Irrelevant has a crazy flank here.
But,
I mean, he might be able to cook.
I mean, the thing is, if Relevant gets on top of Shale, maybe. But
Or
Flacket,
Camilo, yeah. Flacket
Yeah.
is not really that great of a target. There is no cleanse while they're starting the Nash, and Irrelevant has a... Oh, this is very scary.
Rage. BDS, not sure if they can go in here.
Gonna flash on Camilo.
Camilo, the follow-up isn't there. Good body block coming in. Camilo trying desperately to make it out. Instant engage coming from Ice. The Q, he's just not missing a single target. Ice, unmatched, untouched, but Flacket is still standing.
Carson.
Flacket trying to make a difference. Flacket and Carson, 2 versus the world, trying to buy a bit more space, but Nuke finally there to get the damage down. BDS, Paris still standing in this fight, and it makes all the difference. Nuke shut down once. Carlson running, extra movement speed, unstoppable on the W. Sheo topside.
Oh my god! It's a heroic performance from Flacket and Carlson here. The game, if they don't get those kills, the game just ends. It's such a good flank from Irrelevant. He plays this really slow, waits for the opportunity, use the pink ward, ults to get the rage up, and then flashes on Camilo. But Flacket and Carlson just...
Hold the line. Here's the call out. You said he has to that target. Flacket not a viable option. Shale burns everything that he can, but it's all on Irrelevant. Ice, boom, instantly.
And once they get this one shot, it looks like the fight's just lost. It just looks lost. But Ice goes a bit too far forward. He eases forward, trying to kill Flacket. Flacket just right-clicks him down. And beautiful spell usage by Carlson. Gets like the 4-man W AoE, and Kazanta's just so balanced.
all out Pathmaker into 4. On top of the fact that you have the Varus there just free hitting.
Yeah, but really good flash by Flacket. Really good like space awareness in general. And they just saved the game right there.
I mean, at this point, it's anyone's game. It's
Yeah.
37 minutes in. There's 1,000 gold difference.
Well, if they didn't do that, they would have lost the game. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I meant.
No, I agree. I'm with you. Now, not real time. It's
time.
anybody's game.
That's
Although
anybody's
Team Heretics, very clearly favored. BDS are not really in a position to contest this mid wave.
I mean, the thing now is, you could see what happened. The fight was still close when I think BDS got the best possible fight start they could get. And now they have to try to fight this Nash again with no flank on Renekton and no flash on Renekton. And if Camilo plays well here, has the GA.
I mean, no flash on Flacket, no flash on Camilo, no flash on Shea, no
That's
flash
true.
on Carlson.
That's true.
So that's the call. They don't have the flank. They don't have the perfect setup that they're looking for, but they do have a big summoner spell advantage. Carlson clearly knows it the way he's playing. Just going to walk
Irrelevant
face
is
first
looking
into
for
them.
another flank, but this time he's on vision. They should be able to just force him out. Probably Carlson can mark him or something.
And I think this is big. This is where you need the veteran voices on the side of Team Heretics to say, hey, mid push first, get our vision, mark the Renekton, don't let another flank happen, because...
And Flacket is the one kind of trying to mark him alone. I would have liked to see someone walk towards the Renekton and try to force him out here.
Dude, we need Flacket Carms after this game. This man's a one-man army.
He's playing really well this game.
Ice getting chipped out, though, and this is the struggle, right? Is that the smolder
gonna
damage
start
is
the
only going to
Nash.
get more powerful.
Ice is trying to kind of face check on its own. Carson
No ult.
base. Nash is
Then-
gone.
Nash is gone. Mom called.
But Renekton has a really good flank again.
Stend ulting a little bit prematurely. Ice now trying to disengage. Good W back coming in from Nuke to stay standing despite the ult he's laid his way. There's no Zyra ult, there's no Varus ult in the meantime. Sheo getting knocked into Nuke and Ice, but he goes golden buys a brief moment. Team Heretics standing strong as 4, grouping up and just free firing into the faces of BDS, but Nuke and Ice are alive, and as long as that is the case, they have a shot, they have a chance. Camilo continuing to poke, though the slows coming in. Carlson pulling Nuke over the wall. Nuke now in trouble. He's got nowhere to go. The shutdown there. Ice versus the world. But they can just push the wave. They don't need to fight the Ezreal. They don't need to take the bait. The recall now coming in. Double recalls on the opposite side. They've got TPs ready to go. Team Heretics can just end it here.
Ice is gonna have to do the most montage play I've ever seen in my life to carry this one. He needs to hit Qs on every single champion. I don't think he can clear the wave. These match minutes are too much.
They just play PvE. Just stay behind the minions. He's trying. You can see the damage. 1Q hits, that's the slow. Snap Bubble gonna hit, not quite. Ice still standing, but it doesn't matter. As good as he is, 4 members is just too much. Team Heretics, they survive, they outlast, they outplay. They find their second win here in 2025 winter.
It's like a player of the game.